So for step 24, the rear axle's in the low position. You can see that we need to grab these pieces here for both sides. We've got bearings, we've got the drive joints, screws, etc. So I have all of the parts there, and there's the pieces that we're going to need for this step. But notice for the low position, they want the screws sitting in the lower hole at the top and the lower hole at the bottom. So if you go back up to step 24 for the high position, it's in the high position at the top, high position at the bottom. So again, this is low position at the top, low position at the bottom. So there are all of our screws and hardware. So I'll set this up and let's put these together. So I think what we'll do first is let's put the two plastic pieces together. Now, one interesting thing is, let's say that you've cut these off the parts tree and then you think, oh, you might be confused as to which one's which. Well, even visually, you can see that there's one marking on it. So you see there's one line. This has two plastic parts sticking out of it. Well, then you know that that's the correct one because you can see the positioning. Plus then with this, you can see that that has to go over the top just like that. And on the back side, you can see that it actually fits into those two holes. So if I turn this around, they're showing that the screw needs to go into the upper hole. So let's attach these two pieces. And again, these are two hard plastic pieces. So it's hard plastic to hard plastic. So once you're in, you're going to know the screw isn't going to be able to turn any farther. There we go. That's all the way in. Little bit of motion just because of the way that that sits in there. But that is... Oh no, it still needs to go in. Hold up. Let's go a little further. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Because the thing is, you're going to know when you're at the end on these ones because the screw just isn't going to be able to turn. So there we go. That's solid now. So same again with the other one. You can see that that's going to sit there like that. That's got to fit into the hole just like that. And we've got the screw going into the upper hole. So we'll do the same thing again. Let's screw these two together. I can still go a little further. That's mostly all the way right there. So there we go. That's in. So there are the two pieces. That's what it should look like. So now let's install the ball connectors. So you can see that with this one, it's going to go into the bottom hole. So on this, if you look at this side, these are going to fit into the bottom. So I'll grab the box wrench. And we will screw that one in. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, we can go all the way now. There we go. So there's the ball connector. So looking at it from that way, you can see it's at the bottom. From that way, you can't tell. Now, on this side, obviously, we need to do the same thing. It's going to go into the bottom. So again, I'm going to put that into the box wrench. Gives me something to hold while I turn this in. And again, just check to make sure it's going in level. There we go. And that's gonna, when you come to the end, you're gonna know. So there we go. So for both sides, you can see that this one is facing this way, that one's facing that way, and both ball connectors are on the bottom hole. So what do we have to do now? Well, now we need to put in the bearing. So I'm going to put one bearing in down there. Push that in. It's kind of slipped in nicely. And it does show putting a little bit of grease. Now, because these are ball bearings and these are on the outer side, I'm not going to do that. And I don't tend to with any of the kits that I build. I don't, it just picks up grease and grime. So I'm not going to. So we're just going to do that. And on this side, there we go. There's the bearing down there. We'll put the drive joint in there. And there we go. So there are our two rear axles complete. So step 24 is done. So now we're going to move on to step 25 and attach the rear axles.